Hello, welcome back to At Home with Horizon. I'm one of your hosts, Matthew, and I'm here with Dawid.
Hello guys, we're back for episode 3, and today we also have with us our third co-founder, our new member to the top team, Zane Cassidy.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's all clap.
Let's clap.
I'm clapping. Let's go.
Yes. Zane is here with us today. He played Leon in The Dead Among Us, a very popular character. He's now one of the co-founding members at the top of the franchise, and we're calling it franchise because we have had a bit of a rebrand, guys. As you may have seen from the socials after this podcast has been posted, there's been a few changes, and today we are planning on going through them.
Yeah, so this kind of episode we're going to go over a little bit, not too deep into what's gone on behind the scenes at Horizon, but go into the whole new rebranding, the whole branching out into a franchise and making more stuff than just occasional series and films. But a little bit of our introduction. Zane, he played Leon for a grand total of 4 episodes in Dead Among Us.
I wasn't in 4.
3.
3, yeah. No.
You played some extras.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we did film that live, but I couldn't make an episode out of that. But anyway.
Yeah, how did you find your time filming as Leon?
It was good. Like, I was basically there every time you were filming.
Yeah, Zane was an OG. He'd always be down. Back in our secondary school days, he'd always be down to help filming.
Yeah, every weekend.
Always
every
getting
weekend.
the characters in.
Yeah, it was every weekend we'd get something filmed, and it was kind of like with the whole Craig situation where it was like Zane did drama, and we were like, okay, we need drama students, and Zane was the only one that we kind of wanted to get involved.
Yeah.
To put it nicely.
He did suit the characters well.
He did.
He suits quite a few characters. Didn't he play Odin kind of for some?
Yeah, we had a few projects beforehand before actually getting around to filming anything. We had a Harry Potter thing. We had a Harry Potter spin-off, and Zane was going to play Merlin in that.
Yeah.
And
quite
then
a few things.
We had Harry Potter. We had the Unworthy.
We did that Jedi choreography thing. Wasn't I like a Sith?
Yes,
we did that.
I'm not very good at choreography.
Yeah, we all established that. Just watch episode 3, is it, or 2?
It's one of them. It's one of them. I think it's.
It looks good. It just took us ages.
It looks good
because I don't.
You can just see. You can see the sun get progressively lower as it goes by.
Yeah, well that helped because it's like a montage thing, isn't it?
Well, I wasn't.
We went with the montage in the end.
Trying to find a justification for it.
Yeah.
But no, glad to have you on board now. Yeah. And I hope you enjoy your time on the podcast.
No longer third wheeling. I'm one of the boys. Let's go.
He's one of the lads.
He wormed his way into the big leagues.
Yeah.
So now the introductions are all out of the way. We all know who each other are. It is our first time filming a podcast all together. We're all sat around we're all huddled around this microphone for warmth.
The first one especially was during the pandemic, so obviously we filmed it through Discord, me and you. The second one, I was down at uni, so I filmed it from my uni dorm down in Oxford whilst you were here, also through Discord.
Yeah.
But now we're here, all in the same room, sharing the same oxygen.
The audio quality will be better on this one.
Yeah.
We hope so.
Well, I hope so. Anyway,
without rambling on in her...
Is that an hour already? What is that, an hour already?
Don't want to bore you guys. But anyway, the first part of the podcast, we're going to talk about what we call the new era, which is the Horizon franchise. We'll quickly explain what our thinking behind it is, why we've done it, what are the different types of branches. Then we will move on to actually explaining the layouts of the branches, what each of those includes. We'll mention a few projects for each. And finally, we have a little quick mention on a little giveaway we've got going on right now.
A little give back to the community instead of taking.
Yeah, good way to put it. But yeah, so that's the general idea for the podcast. Without further ado, let's get going on to it.
Let's all crack on. Let's all crack knuckles, crack bones, and crack on.
So, shall I start, guys?
I think you should start. I think you should kick us all off.
So, I mean, back in the day in secondary school, me and Matt obviously loved making films. I studied media. You didn't study drama, but you had your little drama
I did
class.
history. I did history, which was
you had your little drama class though, outside of school.
Yeah, I was the only guy there
But yeah.
Yeah, so I was like gagging for like male kind of. I was like looking for kind of more stuff to do that wasn't like either a chick flick or like a romantic comedy starring me as male 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah. But anyway, with our like combined passion for filming, started as a hobby, obviously. It still is, I'd say, a hobby until we can get it fully going. But yeah.
So we got big books.
Yeah, it started as a passion, a hobby. We started making just a few films. Abominable, our first ever thing.
Abominable was the first thing we filmed, and I think it was during the Beast. We had that whole like Beast from the East. It was like a big thing.
Yeah.
Some snows from like God knows where came over, and I had a camera. I was like, okay, like we're gonna go out and we're gonna film something.
And we had the snowstorm, which helped a lot.
We just
was
made
like,
it up.
yo, it's snowing. We need to film something. So we got it all filmed, and then we're like, yo, we should actually like make a channel, upload things.
We made the channel after we
filmed it.
did the film,
and we decided to call it Horizon Pictures. I don't know where the original. I think it was just sounded cool in our heads. As 9s, 10s, we were like, oh, Horizon Pictures sounds cool.
Yeah, because you had that little desk underneath your bunk bed. Because that's where we filmed. We actually filmed test footage. Was it for like a different project? I'll go on after this whole like little story. But we were sat there. We edited this film, and we were like, oh my god, this is sick. Like we should do this more. We posted it onto YouTube, and it did very well.
It did. We were very
surprisingly
surprised.
well.
We were expecting like 10 views max. We got like we were getting like 200, 300 views after like a few days, which we were like, yo.
We were quite good. The trailer got more than the actual film, which is fair enough.
The film was a bit rushed.
The trailer was arguably better than the film, but I'm still glad both things came out.
Yeah, it shows our progression, I'd definitely say. But anyway, that was the plan. So that's where Horizon Pictures was made. Moving on, we made like loads of plans for Horizon Pictures. That was our only little account. It was only YouTube, and I think we made an Instagram obviously to go alongside of it.
Yeah, we made an Instagram for the YouTube after when we started. We made a YouTube and an Instagram around the same time. The first post
obviously to go alongside each other. Yeah. Then moving on, we're going through school at the same time. I'm so sorry, that's my phone. We're going through school at the same time. Me and Matt were both in the same English class, and in that English class we did creative writing, and our teacher was a very big fan of zombie themed like creative writings. And at the time, me and you were big The Walking Dead fans.
Yeah, we were both starting our own run throughs of The Walking Dead. And then I remember we turned up to English, and before we had like the whole creative writing where we kind of wrote our first bits of The Dead Among Us, our teacher, who I'm not going to name, but I was very close to just then, she went through like, these were like, bearing in mind me and Dawid are like episode 2 episodes deep into this series. Yeah. She goes, I was so gutted when this person dies. I haven't even met them yet. I don't know who Abraham is, but goddamn, I feel bad for him. So she
spoiled Carl's death.
She spoiled,
and he was my favourite character.
What do you?
Oh, actually,
it's too late.
It's a bit late. You've had your time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like she spoiled Carl's death. He turned out to be my favourite character, and it was just depressing knowing he's gonna die.
I should have put a spoiler warning on there, probably. But
The Walking Dead's been out longer than we've been born. I think. You know what? Our English teacher had no mercy, so neither are we.
So, like, part of our creative writing was obviously we first started writing as The Walking Dead, our own spin-offs. Yeah. But then, me and Matt, I think we separately just wrote, like, part of the creative writing. She didn't let us this one time, it was for an assessment, she didn't let us obviously write about The Walking Dead because you have to be original. So me and Matt both, I think we spoke before the assessment, we both wanted to write a zombie story. So we wrote both different stories, obviously different characters, not related in whatsoever, but we wrote them. And they were named as one of the best ones in the class, right? Because she really liked...
Yeah, she was a big fan of zombies. She said she wanted a crossbow for Christmas so she could like defend herself in case the zombies came. And she was like she was a big kind of fan of it, and it was that kind of moment of, okay, like we're writing some decent kind of content here. Let's kind of pull it together, see what we can make.
Yeah.
Actually make use of it instead of it just being like a
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
I think we did this whole kind of like Dead Among Us stuff. We didn't name it Dead Among Us until we actually got to like writing. I say writing
Stuff
scripts,
for
but like
it.
planning for it.
Because basically, not to drag the story from these English classes, we came up with the Dead Among Us at the time. We'd go to my media room, which my teacher would unlock for us because don't want to brag, but I was one of the best students.
You were like,
not because I was like really good at it or anything. Just everyone else were just like the like weird kids that would just fuck about and do shit like that and just.
You were the only actual student in there.
I was the only one that actually like tried to pass. So like I was very much liked by the teacher there. So like, she'd always open the door for me.
You were like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, literally. And so we used to go media room, and that's where we wrote The Dead Among Us. We've already spoke about how The Dead Among Us came about.
Yeah,
so
we
to
went
cut to the
into-
chase, we made this Dead Among Us, and that's what really like kick-started Horizon Pictures more, like us wanting to do this more often. Because other than Abominable, which we made, I uploaded Jaeger. There's a trailer on there.
I think that was my first.
That was your
first-
That was your
first
first like appearance.
But that
yeah.
wasn't like anything planned.
was
It was
just your media
that was my media project, which I passed luckily.
Wait, that was for your media?
Yeah, that was my
yeah.
media project at the
And
time.
it's like,
That's.
Oh.
And I passed, and I spoke to you, and I was like, "Shall I like upload it? Because it is quite a bit of like
it's just a film.
It was quite. I don't want to like again brag, but like I thought it was quite good at
it
the
was
time.
it was
obviously.
good, yeah. It was good for the time, yeah.
And
Yeah.
like obviously,
I mean, it's still good
Yeah.
now.
yeah, it's not.
I
It's
guess.
not
Yeah,
bad.
it's-
It's not bad for what
it's-
we had.
It's
year
not
10.
it's not dreadful.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not unwatchable, which is
Yeah.
preferred.
It was
yeah.
only a trailer though. wasn't
It was only
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
there was
that-
only the trailer.
I think the project was something like make a trailer for one of these three genres, and one of them was horror, and obviously I chose horror because it's just fun to make.
Yeah.
It's
I think we were planning on making a full film, but it got kind of like scrapped very early.
well, because
on.
if you think about it, if you think to we're not going to name individuals, but the person in Jaeger, the other person, he did also at the start kind of want to help
Yeah.
us out. We had a bunch of friends who like we wanted to work with, because another project we had back then. This has never been. I don't think it's ever been said. Do you remember Blood Island?
Blood Island.
I don't
No,
know
actually,
this.
no, I haven't.
I think you would have been in it at one point. But like the other person who was in Jaeger, he was meant to be like the main villain. If
Yeah.
you know who I'm on about. And this was something I was writing. I literally had like half the script written. But like our friends, because they didn't see it the way we saw it. We saw this as like we're gonna film in our free time and get it out, hopefully build a platform. But they obviously saw it like, yeah, if I'm free, I'll help. They want, basically what I'm saying is they weren't too bothered, which is fair enough because you know they've
Yeah.
got their own things.
They've got their own lives.
They've got
I don't have
we
one,
weren't
so.
big, we're not big, so like I'm not expecting them to like get on their knees for us, like
Yeah.
do whatever we want them to do. But yeah, basically in the end they like we'd get them to help out, but like at the end they just used to always back out, I'd say.
Yeah,
So
there was.
we were limited. Also,
Blood Island.
yeah.
That's an actual throwback. That is a
Yeah.
throwback and a half. Because
I remember even. Let me. Hold on. Whilst you.
yeah,
talk, I'm gonna
you
see if
kind of
I
look.
can-
Blood Island. We like. It was very much. I think it was not around the time, but it wasn't long. It was when like the Tomb Raider film was like kind of announced. We were like, oh, like those kind of adventure films are quite cool. We were thinking films that will be low budget, and so we thought a little adventure film, like we can go to these like crags and places like that nearby, and kind of use that, like get a few like small props together, and just do the whole like classic. Oh, a couple of teens go looking for something. It turns out to be bigger than what they expect, and it all just kind of unfolds from there.
Like a Goonies, like.
Yeah, it was
that
it
kind
was
of
like
film.
the Goonies, but everyone's kind of like a little bit older, and it's like 21st century.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've not actually. I thought I might have uploaded it back then, like because I remember specifically making a poster for Blood Island.
I think it was up,
but
and
I don't think we ever released it because one thing I regret not doing is before we left secondary school, obviously when we got to year 11, I do regret not taking out. I didn't take everything out of my like computer,
no, you didn't.
and that was where we had a lot of like stuff.
We had posters for a lot of things. We had posters for the so the Harry Potter film.
Well,
that we had
speaking
planned.
of Harry Potter,
Oh, that one is up.
that one is so going back to the projects. Like some of the project we had planned back then is Harry Potter and the Staff of Merlin, which you even...
That
I'm
was...
pretty sure you started writing, is it?
I finished the script.
You even posted the script.
We had like the cast. We had
This one.
we had the Unworthy Thor. We actually filmed test footage for.
This is where Zane was involved.
That's
as
where
well.
Zane started getting a
Yeah.
bit more involved. We had this whole test footage of Thor and just going off, and it was a few like choreographed bits, just like kind of playing around with the idea, but it didn't kind of like go as far as like we necessarily wanted.
But yeah, what we're trying to like point out here is we as like friends, we had plans going along, projects. We made that Gantt chart, if you remember, ages ago with like when we want to release stuff, all that. So it was building, and like we worked. We didn't finish everything because we were limited, being young. And,
budget really
budget.
kind of like
Yeah.
cut us off from that.
And that's why we only really had that Dead Among Us going. That's the only like
We had to focus on one
not
thing.
only, but that was the focus going forward. But yeah, time moving on. We posted Dead Among Us. We were so happy with the views it got.
It really
exceeded all expectations.
Yeah, it was
I
so
have to
refreshing to have something like actually finished.
I'm pretty sure every episode is over 100 views, right?
Every episode is over 100
We
views.
I remember when we first released it, we were saying like, okay, I think our goal should be 50 views per episode.
Yeah, we were. I
I'm
think
pretty sure the first one is like 700.
the near enough. Yeah,
Which
near
is
enough.
crazy.
Definitely over 6. Zane's just doing a little VAR check for us.
Yeah.
But I remember when it came out, I was with Louis because we were filming we were going to halt the release of. We were going to release the episodes weekly, but we were going to have a kind of break in the middle for us to finish the second half of the season. Because you're like, look, like these episodes are finished. We want to get them out.
All the
So
episodes.
the teaser trailer got just over 600, and
That's
then
Crazy.
good.
We
That
never
is-
expected anything like
For
that.
how small of a channel, I say how small, the Horizon Pictures is currently sitting at 110 subscribers. So by no means is it minuscule, but it's also not.
It's
massive.
a good amount for
It's-
where we are right now with this.
It's enough to be
110
taken
subscribers,
seriously.
Nine videos and 110 subscribers. So
That's very
decent.
good.
You
And
can, can you
200
also
about 250 views on each episode,
Which is-
apart from the first one, which
is
got
200.
nearly 600.
Which is 200 more than what we had our
Yeah.
goal set.
you can also check like how many views like in total, I believe, because I'm quite.
You'd have to
intrigued
log on.
see-
Yeah.
You'd have to go on
Would you?
analytics.
Right.
Well, we can do that another time. You want to do that whilst I continue?
Yeah, if you want to do
Um,
that.
So whilst Matt looks up the analytics for the things, moving on. So yeah, Dead Among Us was like the last official like project we released up till now, I'd say.
Well, we were planning on like
Yeah.
was it 8 episodes? Or?
It was 8 episodes.
But
COVID hit. We've already explained this in episode 2, was it?
Yeah, it was
Of
the last episode where
last
we really
episode
went into
podcast,
depth.
we went into depth. COVID just basically spoiled
Fucked
the
us
plans. And then it came the hard decision of what happens next with Horizon, because
People moving on with
well,
their lives.
I for one left for uni back in September now. So obviously we'd have to stop for a while, which we did. I told Matt, look, I'm happy to help in any way, but obviously I'm not going to be able to do as much as I have in the past because of uni. So I basically said, Matt, you lead, I'll support, and just let me know what you're planning on doing, because that is the best thing to go forward for that time. So I think, Matt, you obviously had a few projects planned.
I had a few kind of planned. I'm also just looking as well, and Abominable came out 4 years ago.
4
It's
years.
crazy.
4 years ago.
Crazy.
4 years ago, and in total, Horizon Pictures has just over 3,000 total views across the whole of the channel,
Dang,
which
that's
is good, which is really really good,
Yeah.
and it exceeded a lot of our expectations.
Yeah, for sure, especially at that age.
At that age. I mean, like 4 years ago, I would have been like 14, 15,
Yeah.
and that would that's wow.
Maths.
But yeah, moving on. Uni happened. We all did like our own thing. But then I think Matt had a very good project, which has been announced now, so we can say
It has been announced.
Wardale.
Yeah, Wardale has been
Wardale.
announced. I've been working on Wardale. Thing is, I can work on my own. I can work solo, but when it comes to a big kind of production, I think the only reason that say Dead Among Us got made is that we had say at least like me and David to motivate each other to actually want to do it.
Yeah.
So
it was
like,
very doable.
It wasn't necessarily because it
was
not,
optimistic, but it was doable.
It was doable, and we pulled it off. And
Yeah.
I can watch what we produced, and I don't necessarily feel.
I think
like,
we've done the best we could at that time.
Yeah, and that's like.
But by no means is that our standard.
No, but I mean
as
like.
in not our highest.
No,
level.
I mean like for Wardell is going to be there'll be 6 episodes about 15-20 minutes in length. The scripts are all finished. The scripts are all completed. I'm having a read through with them on the 8th of June. It's currently the 4th now. On the 18th of June, sorry, we're going to read through. I'm meeting up with the original creator of Wardell, my old tutor. We're going to read through some of those. Some of the cast members that did it when we originally did it at college. Some of them are returning, so it's great to see them come back. And
it'll be all announced as well, so
it'll all come out as it comes out. I'm
lookout.
hoping to do a whole podcast episode on Wardell at some point. Maybe
probably
in the
our
future.
next one.
Our next podcast, I'll go into detail on Wardell about what we've got, but beforehand when it was just either me, David, or Zane behind the camera, I've spoke to a professional, like what's it called, freelance cinematographer. The editing software we're using has upped itself by tenfold. We're delving into color correction, color grading.
It's no longer like just some teenagers from secondary school filming. We actually are going for it, which leads us on to why we've made this franchise. So all this led me. I kind of came back in a sense for the podcast.
You came back
and
for
said,
the podcast.
you know what, I'll come back to Horizon for the podcast side of things. I'll join you for the podcast. But then I think I came back home for a long time from uni.
Yeah, you came back for the
because
summer.
it was basically done. But this was even before then, and we decided. We were just talking because it was like, well, we always seem to be talking about Horizon projects and stuff like that. Why don't we get serious about things and try and make this a business?
Yeah, that's where we chose to branch out because a solo podcast isn't really something that happens.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to David. I was like, David, I'm looking for something consistent to upload.
And that's when I said, okay, we need to decide, are we doing this as a little thing on the side, or are we going to try and get serious about this? And that's when we kind of said, like, okay, we want to get serious about things. Zane was there as well. We messaged him straight away and be like, you know what, a third man is exactly what we need. It's
third wheel.
It's very nice to manage.
Yeah.
And that's when we created not just Horizon Pictures, but we branched out and made the Horizon franchise, as you've probably seen on all the socials. And the reason we've done that is we don't want to just be film and TV. If we're going into that side of the industry,
like
we want to be more multimedia, which is what the Horizon franchise is aiming to become, a multimedia company. So you've got to start somewhere. So we've started with the Horizon franchise. I believe we have 5 branches.
We have
4.
We've got the Horizon franchise.
So Horizon franchise is
it's
the
the
of
it's the
whole
spearhead.
operation. So then the branches are Horizon Pictures, which is the OG. Obviously.
Yeah, we're all
That'll
like
be,
familiar with.
That's always been there from the start. It still will be. It will be for a long time in the future.
That's just
this is where
continue.
all our projects,
like the
film and
projects,
TV side of
stuff.
things, are going to be. We have Horizon, which has been around for some time now as well.
Yeah.
That one's
Obviously,
been around for a few years as well.
Our initial plan for Horizon was for like behind the scenes and interviews. It's still very much that, and for this podcast, this is the platform for the podcast, as well as obviously you can listen to it on Spotify now.
Yeah, we're just ironing out the kinks with getting a distributor that won't cost too much, or like figuring out how the payments are going to work.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've just started this, like, let's say business.
Yeah.
So a lot of like the time we will be putting a lot of our own money into it at the start until we can get a bit of like flow going. Moving on with the other branches, we've mentioned Pictures, we've mentioned Horizon. There's now Horizon Gaming, I'll say first.
Yeah.
Which is it's definitely gonna be more active in later dates.
Yeah.
But the idea behind that is to reach out to the gaming community as part of the multimedia. I think it's important to reach that part of the community. There you'll be able to find, we're planning on doing like game reviews, gameplay of cast, because that can
cast play,
like let's play sort of things,
stuff like that. But that's definitely on a later date. However, we've got the TikTok for it.
We've got the TikTok
just to get engaged, get that engage going, and it's not doing too bad.
No, I think Horizon Gaming is where you'll see us at our most informal.
I think for sure. It's going to be a chilled zone.
Whereas Horizon Pictures, Horizon everything else is going to be very much kind of, look, this is business time. Like, you know, formal. I think Horizon Gaming is a kind of step back from that. Whereas, you know, if you're not feeling necessarily, you want to watch something, but you don't necessarily want the whole formal, like, well-spoken kind of thing. Horizon Gaming is where you're mostly going to find, like, you know...
Have a bit of a laugh, you know.
It's sort of meet the people behind the camera sort of thing.
You meet the personalities of the people you've been watching on screen, if you get it.
See, like, what makes them tick, what, you know, say... You know, if Dead Among Us was still going, we'd probably make something like the cast of Dead Among Us plays some
like
zombie game. They play some kind of zombie game. You can see the kind of, you can get some good reactions out of that. It's just an informal place where we can post and not necessarily feel bogged down with thinking, we've got to make this like businessy.
Moving on to the next branch, there is Horizon Music. Which Zane is...
I'll be taking control
he's
of
more,
that.
he's more of control. Because with gaming, I've kind of said I can control it to a certain extent. Obviously,
we've each basically got our own thing.
We've got our own section in which we'll run. So obviously,
Matt's pictures, Dav's gaming, and then I'm the music guy.
And then Horizon is all of us.
This
is not to say none of us can have input into each other. If you get me.
No, I mean like we've all had input into each other's kind of thing.
Like working as a free.
But
as Zane, do you want to explain a bit about what music's got going?
So basically, I'm planning on doing sort of like soundtracks and like themes from the like shows we're doing, and I'll work with Matt and possibly whoever's editing the shows and stuff to work on music for that. And as well, I'm thinking of doing like music videos as well. Like maybe get you guys to sing or like play some instruments.
The whole idea behind Horizon Music was to get a bit of more originality going. Not only for our shows and films we're planning, but also like, you know, if Zane's like got a really nice idea for like a song, he can make it, and then like one of us be like, that's really good, but it won't fit any of the current projects. We could put it out there for other people to use, you know?
And maybe we could just use it later, like...
It's all more to do with originality and obviously hitting the music industry side of multimedia. And then, is there one more branch, or is that it?
I believe that is everything. I believe that's everything. So the two new kind of... Say two new, you've got the Horizon franchise, the kind of spearhead of it all. The flagship, and then you've just got Horizon, which is where you'll find the podcasts, you'll find the interviews, you'll find the behind the scenes, you'll find stuff like that. Horizon Gaming's where you'll find us being informal, you'll find us just chilling out, just having a blast, having a good time. Horizon Music, you're gonna find some soundtracks, you want some ambience, you want some banging tunes, you slap some of Zane's craftsmanship on, and you have a blast listening to that. You know, you want some films, you know, don't need Netflix. You don't need Netflix, you've got Horizon Pictures. It's just is what it is. And there are projects planned. For both.
I'd say mainly Pictures and Horizon. But there are ideas for the other two, which we've kind of mentioned. So I think we should talk about the projects for Horizon Pictures and Horizon. Starting with Horizon, because there's probably less, and we'll delve into the pictures plan. So with Horizon, like we said, the podcast is going to be something we want to get consistent with. I would love to say weekly, but it's a bit
give or take.
Give or take. You can expect it possibly sometimes weekly, possibly sometimes even less, sometimes more. Because obviously this is a fresh thing. We're still working on getting it all going, so we can't just fully focus on the podcast, if you get me.
Yeah.
It'd
be kind of limiting to focus on one thing at a time. So
yeah.
say with Wardell, we're past we're going deeper into pre-production now, and the scripts are all done. We're now looking at choosing locations. Who's filming this thing. I've got a freelance cinematographer, brilliant man behind the camera. I'm really excited for him to get down into this. He's completely down to do it. He's from Essex, lovely guy. But it's just ironing that stuff out.
Yeah. The other thing, I think, really from today, we've kind of we're trying to get more into the TikTok side of things.
We are.
So we are planning on hopping on the trends, let's say, of whatever's happening on TikTok to try and provide more content like that. And we just want to basically use Horizon also to showcase, necessarily not projects, but like little one-off things, so that we can showcase our skills, showcase our filming, showcase our acting, all that. Just to get a bit of content out to you guys.
Little kind of one-off. Say we don't have anything necessarily planned, but say we've announced some kind of film and it seems ambitious. If we can provide a little one-off, say, I'm just using this for example because I know we've talked about it already, just one-off like choreographed, say, lightsaber duels, for example. Like, say if we came out with like, we're making a Star Wars project. There's nothing like that in the works. There's nothing like that being talked about at all. Peach's side is very front and centre on Wardale. But say, we're saying, we're going to make a Star Wars film. It's going to have this and this in it. Obviously, there's going to come with a lot of doubt. A lot of these fan films are either like really below or they're mesmerising. There's a little middle ground, and that's where they kind of, they stop, they don't have the budget, they get a cease and desist. And so, if you don't have not you necessarily, but if there's not a lot of faith for it, if we can provide a little 3-minute one-off lightsaber duel, fully edited, soundtrack, all stuff like that, really kind of prove that we have what it takes to make something like that, it's going to instill a lot more faith, and it's going to kind of, using TikTok, it hits a wider audience. I catch myself on TikTok all the time.
Yeah,
like I've got an essay. I've got an essay during a few days. I've found myself on TikTok when I'm supposed to be writing. It's just, it's bad, but it's an addictive little app, and you'll find people saying, "TikTok's bad. It's too addictive," but
it gets views.
It does.
It does.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd say it's probably one of the easiest social media platforms to showcase your content, because with like Instagram and all that, only really like people that are following you can see it, and you don't often find followers just coming in because they're intrigued. Like even me, like I'll scroll on Instagram and occasionally you'll get like a suggested thing. You'll see it and you'll be like, oh, that's cool. But I won't follow and I won't like, because
at most I'll do is like
once.
something.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do at most.
With TikTok, it's like you whack a few hashtags on a video and it goes out like to that community.
It goes
like
everywhere.
It's
with
easy
Horizon,
to people to find their niche sort of thing on TikTok.
Yeah.
It worked really well.
With Horizon Gaming, when I made the like little Lego Star Wars edit on May 4th, just to go with the gaming side of things, and also the May 4th Star Wars, hopping on a trend, which is what we spoke about earlier, I used a few Star Wars hashtags, few gaming hashtags, and I'm pretty sure it's on like 800 views, which is like on like I didn't expect it, to be honest, but it's very easy to reach out to like not just like a small part of the community, but like a larger part, especially when you're small.
I mean, like I'm very much stuck on Steve Harrington TikTok right now. I'm very much stuck on Stranger Things TikTok.
That's the same for me.
I'm not even on. I don't even watch Stranger Things anymore. On Stranger Things.
I know Steve Harrington's just invaded our phones, and I'm like, you can think about it and be like, okay, so I'm seeing tons of videos about like there are probably like millions of TikToks being uploaded a day.
Yeah.
Right. There are so many TikToks being posted a day, and they're all going out everywhere. So I'm big yawn.
Well, when you think about it, do you reckon? Genuine question. Do you think you see more Instagram posts in a day or more TikToks in a day?
More TikToks,
exactly.
like without
and
doubt.
that's why.
If I spend the same amount of time on TikTok and Instagram, I'll probably still see more TikToks.
Yeah. it's just so easy to like
It's
use.
it's just so much simpler. Whereas on Instagram you've got your feed, then
have
you've got
to
your
be following
explore
the right
page, then
people.
you've got your reels. There's just so much.
You have to be following
more
the
to
right
see.
account to see what you want
Where
to see.
on TikTok, if you swipe for long enough, you're gonna come across some content.
It's like
It's not necessarily good content all the time.
it's a rabbit hole. Like
It's a rabbit hole,
It sucks
and
you in. You don't know where you're going.
you're
but
just Alice.
eventually you'll find the right destination, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, you're Alice stuck in this wonderland of God knows what's going on there.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on, let's talk about Horizon Pictures projects.
Yeah.
Now, I say we've announced Wall Day the past 2 times, but let's just put it out there. We have 3 projects on the go planned.
We have
Wall Day being the first one.
Yeah, we have Wardale, which is
sorry.
the deepest in our pre-production. There's the script writing phase where you're kind of hashing out the story, and then when that's all hashed out, that's when you go deeper in there, and that's when you kind of focus on where
And
you
that's
go.
where you are now.
That's where we are now. I've got a few locations in mind. Trying to think of locations, dates, things that won't clash, kind of stuff like that. And
It's very much ready. Like it's on the verge of production.
it's on the verge of getting filmed, and I'm very excited to get it filmed. I'm very excited to kind of get it all underway. I just want to make sure that the budget's okay for it, crew's okay, cast's all good, locations are all good, and so we can just dive into it with as little kind of hassle as possible.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you planned on announcing anything
Well,
else.
we are here. Our plan is to have for Horizon Pictures have at least 3 things like in one like block. If you
Yeah,
can.
in
Not
the
necessarily filming at the same time, making sure if the scripts are done for one, the scripts are done for the other. Just like have 3 ideas, so we have a plan.
We have
Now-
a range.
We did briefly mention this next one, but we are bringing back a revamp of The Dead Among Us, which will now be called
Let's go.
The Dead Within Us.
The Dead Within
Yeah.
Us. It's with The Dead Within Us, we're separating from The Dead Among Us, not entirely, in a way that Louis' character, Louis' character, unfortunately, Lewis, who played Mark, he's still down in Essex. It was his wishes to kind of like leave the project at Dead Among Us, but
Yeah.
it's not separating entirely from the fact that Louis' character will be returning,
It's-
hopefully.
yeah.
But when it comes to
We do have to say that it's going to be a completely new story.
completely new story, completely new characters.
new direction.
I think with recently on we've been with them for 4 episodes. We
Yeah.
can kind of in your head picture where that story's going, and
It's time for a new one.
it's just time for a new one. We tried seeing where recently on would fit into it, but there's just no way these characters kind of mesh with the new group that we've made, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, we've had to say goodbye to those characters.
Yeah.
But it's just it's not sad. It's
No,
not
I think it's just
tearful. It's just
we've put it out there. They've had their little
They've had their
screen
moment.
time. Yeah.
recently on. I've had the moment, and it's time
If
to.
anything, the first like The Dead Among Us was
Recently on?
recently on, and was kind of like test footage, if you like.
It
obviously
was
wasn't
test
but it
footage
was
for a
test
wider
footage
thing.
for
Yeah.
this new The Dead Within Us, which is definitely, I think. It's hard to put dates because it's not
It's
even in
incredibly hard to
pre-production.
put dates.
It's just been announced by us, like as in, okay, this is one of the 3 working in this first like block, let's call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not going to put a date, but I think we agreed like 2024
I
is the aim.
think with release, Wardell we're looking around November of 2023 is the most realistic release date for it.
For sure.
Whereas the Dead Within Us is probably because while post production is happening on Wardale, that's where we can kind of chill, take our time with it, and that's where we can also start writing scripts for the Dead Within Us.
Yeah.
Kind of figure out how that story is going to happen. So again, it's probably looking at a release date of 2024, early 2025 at a push.
For sure.
I like a kind of push. But like we said, we have 3 projects kind of in a block.
Oh, I am excited
And
about this one.
I saw you kind of put your hands
Because-
together in like
Because-
evil fashion.
Waldale comes first. The Dead Within Us comes third. in between of those two, there's our final project of Block 1.
The final.
And let's just say
it's
we
a
want
revamp
to.
as well in a way, if you want to look at it.
It is, but the
But no
audience
one ever
won't-
saw it.
yeah,
Only we did.
only we did. Okay, we want to delve in the future to our own superhero films. The way to do that is build a superhero audience, and what better way to do that than doing fan films? And what better way of doing fan films of superheroes than delving into Marvel?
Yeah.
So we would like to introduce to you Earth 604.
Earth 604.
And to kick off things in Earth 604, we have 2 street heroes coming onto your screens late 2024 and they are Iron Fist and Spider-Man.
Yeah, we did some kind of stuff in way ages ago where we had a kind of Iron Fist and Spider-Man team up. It was, Dawid was portraying Spider-Man at the time and I was portraying Iron Fist.
Times are rough when I'm on the screen. We don't have enough friends to
when
act.
when David's on the screen, that's where you kind of pause it and think, damn, these guys are going through it right now.
Yeah.
Whenever you see David on the screen, whether it's an extra or anything, just pause it and have a little moment to say a prayer.
Yeah,
It's
just pause it and go straight to our Ko-Fi page.
Drop us a message on Instagram like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, just make sure we're okay.
Check in on us every now and again. But it was
ages ago.
It was ages ago. Right now we can't. Obviously, we're not going to talk about cast or anything like that.
We can say
away.
we are in officially. We have begun pre-production, not with scripts, but with the story.
Yeah.
We are halfway. Well, I know where the story's going because I've taken kind of charge of writing.
Yeah, David's headlining the kind of story of this series.
All I'll say is it's going to be a 8-episode season, and so far 5.5 episodes are written, not on script, just as a story idea. Cool. I know where the story's going, but I just need to write the rest, but I'm writing that down. Once that's done, scripts, rest of pre-production. That's all we're saying on this project, though, because
that is all there is.
It's very exciting.
To ease any worries, even though cast isn't confirmed, I don't believe that me and David will be returning to play Iron Fist and Spider-Man.
I have no plans on whacking a red hoodie and a black bandana over my head because we didn't even have a Spider-Man costume.
No, we did not. We just, I think you painted.
We've got Spider-Man costumes now.
I had I had a red hoodie.
You had a red
and we
hoodie.
tried to. It was when Homecoming came out, and we tried to make like the Homecoming home suit.
It's like first suit.
Yeah. So what I got I had a plain red hoodie, and what I also had fabric pens, and I drew a little spider symbol. It was very shit.
Yeah.
It was not artistic at all. But I drew a spider symbol on that hoodie, and that's what we used. And for the mask, I literally just whacked a bandana over.
Yeah, we whacked a bandana on, fingerless gloves. I think the Iron Fist costume was...
It's just a hoodie.
It just wasn't a costume at that point. It just wasn't even a costume. I think I just walked out. I just went, oh yeah, let me just go find a costume. I just put a hoodie on.
Yeah.
I just put a hoodie on and rolled the sleeves up.
It was like Custom Horizons hoodie you had as well at the time. You know, the one with the Horizon pictures.
Yeah, I think I put that on at first and I was like, wait, hang on a minute, let me just change.
Yeah.
But no, funny story actually about that. I'm just looking at the time, we've got time to talk about this.
Yeah.
The original, so far there are a few pieces of Horizon merch out there, and I have this like custom made Horizon Pictures hoodie with like the letters like printed on the side of the arm, stuff like that. Zane's knocking everything over, picking up the Horizon hat right now.
Which Japanese on it. Japanese.
Yeah, it was. It's gone now though. You can never get that again.
I mean, we could redesign it and like do something similar.
Yeah,
we could
put David in the workshop. Oh, okay. But this custom Horizon hoodie, I went on a cruise or something like that. I was on a ferry of some sort, and
I've not heard this story.
And no, it's.
I only heard it the other day.
And I hung it up. I believe I was on the way to France to visit my godparents, and I hung it up, and I hung it up on the outside of the door, and I went to like go use the toilet or something like that. I came out and the hoodie was gone. So someone on that boat saw that Horizon Pictures hoodie, got so overwhelmed, and someone out there stole the first Horizon hoodie that I got. And so I was like, oh, well, that's kind of like, wow.
It's an exclusive hoodie.
It was an exclusive
not part
hoodie,
of our merch.
and they took
It
advantage
was a
of that.
custom merch Horizon Pictures hoodie. One of the OG it's a vintage jacket.
It was a vintage jacket, and these guys took it
Horizon.
upon themselves.
So now someone is roaming the streets of France. Possibly.
God knows where
Wearing-
they are.
I
Maybe
know
they
they're
wearing a Horizon Pictures jacket.
Shout out to
repping
those-
the merch.
Shout out to those guys.
Yeah,
if you see anyone,
they are doing us a favour, repping Horizon
if you
out
see,
there in
if
Europe.
anyone watching the podcast right now, I say listening, if anyone that sees, anything walking around with this, that's not me, with this like blue kind of hoodie on with Horizon Pictures
It was a
on the
zip-up
written on the
one,
arm, zip up hoodie. If you see that, just go up and shake their hand,
Yeah.
or
Just tell them we would like to congratulate them and thank them for their service.
let them know their days are numbered, and every second they're not running, we're getting closer. But I got a new one. The letters are embroidered. It's all good. Hopefully they don't steal this one. And
Maybe it's one of us.
I guess
Just a
on
little-
that ferry door.
it was just a little sidetrack. I've never been on a ferry since.
Yeah.
That is a lie.
But yeah, that's the projects announced for Horizon Pictures. We have Waldale, which will come first to you guys.
Wardale will come
next
first.
year,
Next year, yeah.
and then the other two we are planning on 2 years from now, which is Iron Fist and Spider-Man, which I am so gassed for. I
can tell every time you get ready to announce it, you do this little thing where you rub your hands
Rub your
together.
hands.
Well,
You're warming it up.
these past few weeks, every time I finish writing an episode, I just message you the whole episodes, because I just wanted to see your reaction to it. But yeah, I think it's going to be brilliant. I can't wait to bring that.
Agree.
And then also, how can we not be gassed for The Dead Within Us? We're bringing it back. It's going to be so great to film again.
It's going to be brilliant to bring back not an old, but something that we've made, rebranded it. Granted, it would be nice to bring recently on back into it, but it's just hit that time.
It's
of
just
day.
a different story now.
It's just a different story, and if we want to feel that nostalgia, we'll just rewatch the first 4 episodes, bump the views up.
Yeah.
Keep the video playing while I go to sleep. But
Yeah.
but no, it's But yeah, we'll probably go into detail on these projects on a later podcast. Iron Fist and Spider-Man, it's set in our own Earth, it's set in Earth 604.
Which I love. We basically we did research and we couldn't find any
there's no
facts on Earth 604.
Yeah.
So, and the reason we chose 604 is to do with Horizons.
Yeah, the original.
0604.
Is it the original account called Horizon
0604?
Yeah, the
it's
email.
when we made it. But anyway,
That's not the email.
we did
Yeah.
we made it Earth 604, and the whole point of that is obviously it will keep origins of characters,
Yeah.
but we can shift them slightly and turn it into what we want, go in the direction we want.
I'm just trying to mouth something to David to see what we're doing. Other projects linked to our kind of Marvel 604.
There is projects, but I don't think we should
There is
go there yet.
project. Yeah,
I
there
don't
we
think
go.
should
I was
there.
testing the waters to see how
you
far we
stepped
were
too
going
far,
down
you
that
stepped
rabbit.
too far. End the podcast. Cut it.
But no, I'd say we've got ideas
I think
on what we
we
want
got
to do.
what we
ideas
can
for
announce,
what
what
we
we can
do.
say is, to kind of go along with that, we are what we have going with the Marvel stuff is going to be the Horizon Marvel Cinematic Universe of our own fan films and shows. That's all we're saying. We're not announcing anything else until later dates.
Gave me a sharp look there,
Yeah.
David. Just put me in my place there.
That's all we are saying. On that note,
WandaVision 2.0, guys.
WandaVision 2.0, starring
Yeah.
Zane as Wanda.
But yeah, I think that's it for the projects.
That wraps up the projects in a nice, pretty little bow.
And we are coming up to kind of our mark that we tried to aim
We've-
for in
we've-
the podcast.
We've covered everything that we wanted to cover, so that's it. We're done. We're fed up. We're
With
sick
one
of
more
this.
thing.
We're ending
We're
Horizon.
sick of this.
Yeah, we quickly have one more thing though we do have to mention, which is the giveaway we mentioned at the start. If you go to our Instagrams, all our socials, all our branches, I'm pretty sure we got it out there on all of them. We are doing a giveaway of our brand new exclusive The New Era merch. Where it's a great design in my opinion.
It is a good design.
I really love
will
it.
back you on that.
Make sure to check it out, see what you feel. It might not be your style, but either way, check it out, have a look. And if we're giving away a t-shirt for male, female, teenage,
It's
child,
unisex.
whatever
Whoever
size,
gets it.
whatever size will DM you through our Instagrams. And the way to enter is, if you go over to our Ko-Fi page and donate one coffee, that's what it is. It's
Yeah, they're
coffee.
called coffees. So we've set the. We're going to keep this going for like a little bit to see how well that
Our
goes.
Ko-Fi page is always going to be there. But if you, in this giveaway time, if you donate, every £1 you donate, every coffee you donate,
You get an entry, you get a draw, you
is
get
an
a chance
entry
to win.
to the giveaway. We're going to keep this running for a while. We've already had a few donations.
We've had one or two, yeah.
But make sure to enter it for your chance to win. Like we said, it's going to be open for a while. And yeah, there's no rush, but yeah, make sure to check it out. It really helps support and fund these projects. That's our goal. We want to bring you the best of our ability to the screen. And as much as I would love to make everything top quality, it's not possible without the funds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to be putting a lot of our own money in, but anything we can get from you guys and from anywhere, anything, we would so much appreciate.
Any help is appreciated, really.
Yeah.
That's the end of it. Yeah.
With this whole giveaway, we're going to keep it as the kind of one coffee is one kind of thing to kickstart things, but then we'll kind of switch it over. We'll make it in a way which doesn't. We'll see how long that goes. Keep that for say maybe a couple weeks, and then switch it to enter to get one entry. You have to, I don't know, follow all the Horizon accounts, send us proof, and we'll give you a pat on the back. But if you had donated in that time, you still obviously get your extra draws.
And also, you can enter, have more than one entry. Say you donate 5 coffees, so £5. Not saying you do that. Make sure if you're under the age of 18, have permission to donate.
Yeah, don't
recommend donating.
Don't swipe the credit card.
Yeah.
And
but yeah, if you say you did buy 5 coffees, so £5 worth of donation, that would be 5 entries. So bigger chance because. Ultimately, the way we're going to choose a winner, I think we just agreed on like an online wheel.
Yeah,
spin
we were just going to get a wheel
with,
spin.
odds.
Yeah.
Just going to get a wheel spin, kind of like type up kind of like percentages and
Yeah.
maybe not percentages, but like one of those.
How many entries you have?
Yeah, how
basically,
many
or like
entries,
a name
just
out
kind
of
of
hat.
do that. Yeah, just
It's very simple, but yeah, make sure to check that out. It's on all our socials, including some of the. It's on the gaming TikTok as well. Make sure to check out. It's a neat design, exclusive as for now.
If you do win, be careful of the people in France on Paris.
yeah, just don't take it on boats. It's just going to get
They'll
stolen.
just rip it off
Make
your
sure you
back.
don't lose it.
They'll just tear it off you.
Yeah.
They'll say something in French and then walk off with your freshly
Leave
new
again.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ich möchte. That's German.
That's German.
That's German.
Anyway, check out the giveaway.
Check out the giveaway.
Thank you for your time. We really appreciate all these listens on the podcast.
Download it if you can. Guys.
Yes. First, it's obviously going to be on the YouTube, on the main Horizon YouTube channel. Later, it'll be added to Spotify, so make sure to check it there. If you haven't already listened to the other podcast episodes, they are full of content you will not want to miss.
Mm-hmm.
And also, episode 1 is available on Spotify now, so get following, get downloading.
Get
All support is
subscribing,
appreciated.
Drop a
And
like,
yeah.
guys. Drop a like. Drop a comment.
Let Zane have his moment.
Yeah, Zane, you direct the.
Yeah.
Let's say like and subscribe.
Yeah,
guys.
so the last podcast episode we kind of talked about talked about Dead Among Us, the whole making of that. We'll probably go into detail on
Episode 1.
Zane's experience at some point. I don't know.
sort of
It
like an
depends.
interview, sort of thing. Is that what we're looking at in the next episode?
Next episode, be tuned in for that because it's going to be all about Waldale.
It's going to be all about Wardell. It's going to be about what you can expect. You know, I have a few people in mind for the cast already. Some of them have already agreed. You know, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty fresh, and it's just very exciting times.
Yeah. So make sure also to check out all our socials. Follow the branches you're most interested in. There's constant updates, especially on Horizon Pictures. There's good things coming, so keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out.
Thank you for listening, guys. We've enjoyed this very much. I hope you have too.
Are we all going to say bye at the same time?
Yes.
Right.
Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.
Until next time.
It's been At Home with Horizon, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.